Shirt show. All right, let's go.
Shirt show! Talking shirt! Shirt show! Talking shirt! Shirt show! Talking shirt! Shirt show! Talking shirt, man! All right! Episode 106 of Shirt Show. We're talking with Erik from Action Engineering in Georgia. Let's go! Shirt show!
Hey there, cutie pie. Too cool to talk? You look like a beach bum.
Well, ever since we did Golden Boys podcast and we were stunting with our shades,
Right.
I thought, I'd go with this look. Not, you don't like it?
I love it.
Okay.
Do you have like Birkenstocks on?
How'd you know? I have,
the
that's
vibe.
all I have. Like, that's all I wear.
Right. It's just t-shirt, no shorts, Birkenstocks.
Underwear or just nothing down below?
Nothing. Just
saying? Okay.
just trunk in it.
Yeah, well, it's summer, and what did we decide it was? I think the hot scale, wasn't it hot as balls? Does it go hot as shit?
Hot as shit, hot as balls, hot as fuck.
Hot as fuck. Okay.
Right.
Is there anything after hot as fuck?
You.
Well, then it's me here today. Okay.
Right.
That's the temperature in St. Louis.
Uh-huh.
How does it?
It's a ripe Andy Rudman today in St. Louis.
Sure is. I don't know. Like, I think that like half the country's kind of fucked.
Yeah. Other than the heat.
Apparently it's not where you are. It's like a beautiful 70 degrees.
It's fucking gorgeous.
Crisp and clean.
Yeah.
This
Such a nice morning. Oh, yeah, a little
yogurt.
yogurt. Oh.
Yeah, I gotta fuel up, because some of us actually print fucking shirts.
Yeah, that's true.
Mm-hmm.
It's valid. I have the rest of my morning iced tea.
Don't you know how to get iced tea like on your own? Do you have to go through a drive-through?
I just like Dunkin's iced tea. It's like a good strength.
Okay, well, that's fair.
Yeah.
Do they know you there?
Yeah. Well, the funny thing is, it's kind of like good and bad. As I go there so much, they're like, you really need the Dunkin' app. You'd save so much money. And it's just like, it's
What do
not
you mean?
cool.
Like
It's not cool when a drive-through is like knows you by name and knows your order.
Here's what you do. So it's probably like Starbucks. I bet you their app has like a rewards based
it does.
thing where
Yeah.
you use it 8 times and you get a free drink,
Yeah.
But here's the thing. Like, if you're loaded up, like if you're stacking, like if you're piling money up like well, then you don't give a fuck.
Right.
You don't care about a free iced tea. Shit.
I was like, I'll pay double for that iced tea, bitch. How about that? Lay off. Don't tell me what to do.
Do I look poor or something?
Yeah. I threw $100 bill at the window and drove off.
Well, it looks like you're getting your steps in. We're talking about
Oh yeah, dude.
healthy and all that stuff. All I
Trying
get
to.
are like these gorgeous. I get sunrise pics and
sunset.
also sunset pics. I mean,
Dude, not last night, but the night before was a sunset with a rainbow halo around the sun.
I thought you were just going to tell me that there was a sunset at the same time there was a sunrise.
Yeah, dude.
I was like, wow, that would be a trip. I think
Yeah.
there might be a place in the world that happens. I'm pretty sure it doesn't.
Where it
get
just
dark.
crests and comes back up.
Yeah, like if you go north enough in the summer,
Yeah.
like when we're visiting Joanne's
It's like
home.
Alaska, right? Where it just like kind of like dips and comes back up.
Yeah, I swear in North Dakota, it gets dark in the summer. It gets dark at like 11 o'clock at night. And you know who else? Kellen. Man, we haven't talked about Kellen in a long time.
Mm-hmm.
From Black and White, but he's way up in Canada, and I want to say like sometimes he sends me pictures, and he's on the golf course at midnight, like just playing golf. Yeah.
Seems like the life, man.
Well,
Hey,
yeah,
I feel like I haven't seen you in so long, and we haven't
know,
done
I
a
know.
proper in our office recording in so long, and I don't like it. And I want to get back to regularly scheduled programming.
Yeah, well, I do too. I think that it felt really weird on this Sunday, because that was like, I don't know how many Sundays in a row that we haven't recorded, but
Quite a while.
I found myself just wandering around the streets of St. Louis, not
Mhm.
knowing what to do. You know?
I get it. Me too.
Yeah. You were
So
wandering
lost.
around St. Louis. You should have
so
stopped
lost
by.
without you.
Why didn't you come over?
I just went and got some beef.
Beef?
So what else is new? Real quick.
What is this new real quick?
What happened last week? Anything?
Dude, like it's just so tough right now with everyone out. I don't know if you're going through the same sort of thing, but we have people out sick. We have people that aren't
I
here
had two
anymore.
people out.
We have
Two people out on Monday. I think it was
Yeah.
just like sick, like weekend party too hard. So,
I was raising my eyebrows in my eyes too, but you can't tell.
but your glasses are too tall.
So what? Yeah. So that's kind of that's seriously the theme of the past, I would say 3 weeks, is that at all times on any given day, no matter what, we're down minimum 10% of our team, which means we're missing at least 3 people, sometimes 4, sometimes 5.
Mhm.
And try to get stuff done like that. Yeah, sure, we still can. And like I go to Kyle and I'm like, Kyle, it's gonna be okay. Let's chill out. Can't do anything about this. I'm gonna actually print some shirts.
Look at this delivery. Thank you.
Is that from Duncan or she just refill
It's
you from
Duncan, another one.
bullshit? Like you have people delivering you
Yeah.
Duncan iced tea on a,
That's what
like,
happens
what is
here.
it? How does that work for you? So you do it like once every 2 hours? They just
make a
get
run.
them?
I have the fridge stocked with Gold Peak, so
Can we switch? Can we shop swap?
you said wife first. Let's do that.
All right. Yeah, let's try it. Let's see
We'll
how
do
it goes.
wife and shop, and we'll see how the dynamic works out.
Your wife would be so stoked. Like she would get
She
some
would.
real like
Real attention.
action
Mhm.
or attention. Yeah. Same thing.
Mhm.
Yeah. So I mean, it'd be so fascinating. Like we talk about that every once in a while. Like, what would it be like if I went and ran Upstate for? I can't just do it for a day because everybody.
No,
just
it's
love
got to
me.
be at least a week.
Yeah. At first they'd be like, man, Andy's so, like he's just so fucking cool. And then like by day 4, they'd be like, when's this fucking guy going?
Mm-hmm.
Like, when is he going to leave? Now, how would it be here for you? What do you think it would happen? How would it go down?
That would be awesome. I feel like spirits would be so lifted, and like we would just have so much fun all week. We fucking jam into
Yeah.
tunes all week. High
We'd
five.
fuck up some orders.
Probably not.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously production and print quality would fucking skyrocket.
Do you know, I was really nice to you the other day because you said when we were recording at Becker, you were talking about a press, like training a person on the press to become a press op. And you said that, it just takes a year. They have to fuck up 30 orders. And I was like, 30 orders? Holy hell. Like what's going on up at your shop? I was going to say something about that. Like that's too many orders to
I
fuck
thought
up,
you were going to say that's like, that's like a normal month's worth of fuck ups for you.
An order a day.
Right.
Nope.
You're like 30 orders. It's more like
30
1,200.
Yeah. You mean 1,000?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So that's pretty much it, man. I think that's my week. And so if you want to talk about your shop, like what's going on up there, let's hear it.
Same old, just getting busier, and that's it. Really, it's just been good. It's been cruising. I've been working on Tea Club stuff. Got one on right now.
I see it.
It's been good. Things are good. I'm happy. I'm happy to be here with you. Ready to get back into it.
Wow. Thanks for sharing so much information. Now everybody has a very clear picture of what's going on.
All right.
It has been going on at Upstate for 2 weeks.
The end of last week, the beginning of last week, my dad finished the dock for the new storage area for the trailers. And then he immediately, when I was with you in Indy, he started the grilling deck and he finished that yesterday. So I'm pretty stoked on that. I ordered a new 4-burner Blackstone at Lowe's yesterday. So I'm gonna go pick that up today for the deck, and we're gonna have a big grill party here on Friday. So if you want to swing up,
I'd love to.
we'll do some grilling. And then yeah, we've just been busy. I got my mom here all week. That's nice.
She's doing some digitizing.
Yeah.
Oh,
after she's done with digitizing, we have a shitload of bandanas that need folded, bagged, and stickered, and she's here doing that.
Dude, I have the best digitizing story. So somebody called. I actually answered the phone. I know that's weird, but it was ringing. It doesn't ring in my office until like the fourth ring or whatever.
How do you answer the phone?
What?
You just say what? You pull the phone. You're what?
Yeah, I thought, isn't that polite?
It's not like go for Andy or.
I say, sure, Kong. That's it. No, I think. Let me tell this story. So so I answer the phone. It's a digitizer, and I'm like, yes. And so they start their thing, and I say, so they say, who does your, digitizing and stuff. So I said, my mom does, of course. And they said, oh, okay. And these guys are getting good. I think that they've heard this so many times that now they have a rebuttal. And you know what they said? Dude goes, so, like, who does your backup? Like if your mom, can't keep up or if you need somebody else, who's the backup? And I didn't have a good comeback at the moment. And I just said, we never need that. And then I hung up. And then after I hung up, I sat there for
Did you just say your mom has the stamina of a stallion?
No, here's my comeback. I told Joanne, I'm like, oh, I know the perfect thing to say next time it happens. And so I say, the first time I say, yeah, my mom does. They say, well, who does your backup? I say, my other mom.
And they're like, oh, perfect. Oh, okay.
Then they probably are silent and they
just say stepmom
or stepmom. Sure. I just like other mom, my other mom, because then they've got nothing.
Right.
For that. No, you don't like it?
I like it. Yeah.
Okay.
Or your grandma.
Anybody out there that needs like a second, like the backup, because they're getting smart. They've heard the mom one, and so they ask you who your backup is. Just say, or you could say with your dad, I guess. I just like the other mom. My other mom.
Say daddy. That's better. My daddy does my digitizing.
Okay, sure. I like that too.
Mm-hmm. If my mommy can't handle it, my daddy does. That's what you should say. God, yes. I'm itching for this.
Frank. Well, Dylan, it all starts with a screen. And whether it is new stretches or restretches, Frank and his team do it the best. To find out more, go to graphicscreenfashion.com, FFFFF.
Rank.com.
Or
greatfuckingscreens.com.
Of course, cleaning screens is no fun, but EasyWay makes it funner. Their line of eco-friendly chemicals will help you keep your screens and your shop clean. Check them out at easyway.com. EasyWay.
It's the easiest way. Just got a fresh booth from them. Thanks, bud. Thanks, Alex.
Booth.
Yeah, I got a new wash up booth.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
Nice. Action Engineering makes all kinds of accessories printers need. Go to actionengineering.com to have a look and then use Shirt Show at checkout and get a one-time discount of
15% off.
15% off if you've never used that code before. If you have, remember, we also have that code SS103. You use that at checkout during the month of June, you get 10% off. And I hate when people say SS, when they're saying a number and they go 103.
Right.
It's not a letter because that's confusing, right? Oh, so I type in 1 and then the letter O and then 3. No, it's 103, guys.
Yeah, I think most people got it, but
no, I don't think they do.
For the occasional smooth brain, it's 103.
Monarch Color makes ink that does what it's supposed to do. They have the most opaque mixing system in the biz.
Fuck yeah, they do.
You want to learn more? Go to monarchcolor.com. Ink better, print better, be better.
Live Moss. Monarch. Yep.
Chromaline. So we've partnered with Chromaline because they truly help shops improve their screen department. We use their emulsion here every day. If something is going wrong in our screen room, because we all know there's a zillion variables, well, then you get a hold of Kevin, the emulsion guru.
I was going to say, it has nothing to do with Chromaline. It's the fact that Kevin's just so hunky and adorable that, we just wanted to be around him as much as possible.
That's true. And, I wanted to be around him. He happened to have been here, not last week, I think on Monday, because he was going to see a different shop.
Between you and John.
He wanted to come here first and say hello, and he did, and we hung out, and he checked our EOM just because I'm like, dude, can you just have a look while you're here? He did, and of course we were 18 to 20% perfect. And I wanted him to hang out later. I wanted to go to dinner or just do whatever, and he said, okay, yeah, cool, yeah, of course. And then he canceled.
Because he was with John.
I know. He got down there with Logo Daddy. He's like, this is way more fun.
Right. Exactly. I get it. I understand fully.
Yeah. So fuck you, John. So Chromaline, they are putting together a really neat program for all of the listeners where something like every month they're giving away some of these beer steins or beer, what is it called? These etched, like shirt show etched beer glasses, mugs. I'm getting it all wrong, but they're doing something like that. And also there's a certain section of their website that will have shirt show facts, shirt show stuff about how to make screens, like in a chart and all this sort of stuff. So details on that coming soon. I should have everything, or we should have everything by next episode, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go buy
Check
some
them out at
Chromaline.
chromaline.com, by the way.
Yes.
Yeah. And also follow right now Emulsion Guru on Instagram.
For real.
Okay. For real. GXS, or as people know, Graphic Source, they are another sponsor of ours now. And we are super stoked about that because they can really help a shop. And I thought that we could go through, and I will say like something that they can help. So I'm gonna read a sentence how they can help, and then Dylan, at the end of that sentence, you just say, call Nick or Lucas. Okay. Okay. So we'll see how this goes. This could be a disaster, but we're gonna try this. We're gonna try this out real quick.
Okay.
All right. So you don't have time to do all the art and run your business.
Call Nick Wood at 1-900-HOT-STUFF.
Let's say you have too much fucking art to handle.
Call Lucas at 199-HOT-DOG.
199. That's that new hotline. Yeah. Number. I like it. Or let's just say you suck at art.
Call Nick and Lucas for a good time.
We're killing these. We're getting it done. Let's say you need some help with some complicated SEPs.
Don't call ShirtCon.
Oh, shot to the heart.
Call Nick or Lucas at Graphic Source.
And last, but definitely not least, let's just say you're having a bad day and you want to feel better about the world.
Oh, fuck yeah. Call Nick. Call Nick Wood.
Call Nick Wood, because
the world's hype man.
You just need like 30. I don't even know if you need 30 seconds with him and everything's better.
It's true. It's definitely true. Well, for real, Graphic Source has been really good. I think it fits any size shop. And we talked to a lot of shops where we were just mentioning it because we thought it was a great service. If you need help with art and you're struggling by yourself, or if you have a shop with 100 employees.
Mhm. Yeah, or if you're a medium shop like us. So
Any size.
we use GraphX Source every single day. We have a dedicated art specialist, and they bang out art all day long. And we have three designers here full time, but yet we need help with certain things. And so it's okay, Dilly. It's okay to ask for help.
Yeah.
It's not a bad thing.
I'm getting
It's
that.
okay.
I'm understanding. Hey, Andy, who do we have on the show today?
Dylan, I'm excited for this one because today we are talking with none other than Erik Naftal. I hope I got that right. From Action Engineering. And if you don't know, his company makes cool shit for screen printers. We talked about them just a few sponsors ago.
Yeah, they're just super rad company trying to help out screen printers and make cool accessories.
I hope he joins the thing soon so we can start because he's busy. He's a busy guy and he only has so much time. And so, what if we talked really, really fast? Like, what if we, you know how if you can go at 1.5 or
just
or
do
whatever?
2 times speed the entire time with Eric.
Let's try it. Can you try talking really, really fast?
I can't talk really, really fast. What are you talking about, Andy? I can't do this.
So you did, however, you need to go higher pitched because if you're talking fast, it would go higher. Like if you're fast forwarding it. So try that again.
I can only rewind. I can be like,
That's pretty good. That sounded real. Let me see. What did you just say? Oh, you said Andy is really. I couldn't make out the last word. It was something though.
Right.
It was something. I think it was good.
Yeah, it was.
I hope it was. Let's just pretend. Let's pretend it was.
Okay.
Oh, stretch it out. Here we go.
So nervous every time you get the runs. Look at him.
He's
What's
almost
up,
got
Erik?
the same look as me. So we're
Gentlemen.
close.
Yeah.
Gentlemen, how are you? Can you hear me okay?
It's perfect. It's beautiful and crisp.
Yeah. Perfect. Great.
Yeah. What's going on, man?
I am Erik. Pleasure to meet you both.
Yeah, you too. Hey, we'll do a digital high five or handshake.
Oh, yes. Hey. Pump. The fist pump.
So what's going on, man? How's the shop?
The shop is busy. We are unbelievably busy. Everything is going just incredibly well. All we need now are orders.
Just
That's
cracking.
not true. Not true, man. Yeah, we're really busy. So sales this first part of the year, we're 12% up, and profits are down by 30%.
Why is that?
Cost of goods, brother.
Oh yeah. That makes
Every
sense.
single thing we ship out of here is made out of aluminum, and the cost of our raw materials is over double what it was a year and a half ago. And I have raised prices. I did raise prices along with the rest of the universe last year, and I'm going to hold tight and just try to keep pumping up the volume and make it up that way. But
I think that we are going through a really complex time. I think that just like you, our shops, have had price increases across the board, whether it is supplies or just even blanks. And then what's even more significant, at least for our shop, is labor costs. I mean, if supplies are up 10 to 15%, labor is up more like 20 to 25% for us. And, and so how do you fix this? I mean, I have conversations about this a lot lately, or I even think about it just a lot, because sort of like you are, we're busy. We had a record 2021. 2020 is on pace. I don't think we're going to beat 2021, but 2022 here is, we're on pretty good pace. But are we going to make less? I mean, I think that's probably true. I don't know any way around that other than to raise prices, but sort of like you, like how much can you keep raising them before something starts to give. And so really for us, it hasn't been as much of the supply costs as it is labor. I wish it were, and that's probably why supplies are going up too. I mean, you just can't, people aren't producing enough stuff. You got to flood the market with supply, with whether it's aluminum or whatever it is, plastisol, or I should say plasticizer, flood the market with supply, and then you're going to have prices go down. But how can you flood the market with supply if you don't have people on your team to produce it? I don't know. I think we're all kind of stuck in this for a while.
Yeah, this isn't going to work itself out anytime soon, guys. Look, I've said this.
It's over. Done.
Sorry, look, I said this so many times when all of this was going down. I kept looking around saying, look, guys, it's a lot easier to take shit apart than it is to put it back together. And that's what we're really kind of talking about. We broke apart supply chains. The mills went down. Things got quiet for so long that trying to put it all back together to meet demand is what we're looking at here. And just my 2 cents.
Yeah.
I'm patient. I know I've been through this now for 30 years, and I'm sure everything's going to be fine. It'll work itself out. It always does.
I don't know too much about the industry you're in as far as like the machine shop kind of thing where you guys are making all these parts and stuff. Is there a way to not necessarily, I guess you could invest in the company more in a certain way to make things more efficient to where you could keep costs down that way and not have to raise your prices as much?
I have invested in machinery in the last 2 years, more so than the last 5. We had a tremendous growth spurt because of our face mask pallets, and a lot of that, the money made from that year went back into the company. I got a lot of great new toys here. We are more efficient than we have ever been. Our shelves are stocked. Things that used to take an hour take 10 minutes now. Perfect. It is absolutely remarkable, man, the improvements in efficiency I have here. Just as a general rule of thumb, my volume has doubled in the last 6 years, and I have less people working here than I had 6 years ago. It's absolutely true. And the reason for that is just simply we've made changes to processes. We've made changes to improve machinery and everything else. And man, it is crazy how efficient we are now. That's the case with our core business, with our core products. Some of the stuff that we make custom maybe still takes a little longer, but
I think that's I think it's a job really as the operations manager. And if you don't have a lot of shops, the owners are the operations manager. And so that's sort of what you think about all the time, whether it's while you're laying awake at night at 3 a.m. or driving in your car or whatever you're doing. You're trying to think of how to be more efficient. And some of that is by design, because, it's our responsibility to be efficient. And then also some of it's just by necessity because, we don't have as many people out there that in the work pool anyway, that'll come to work here at our shop. And so how do you get stuff done? Well, you have to automate. And then also the other part of automation that we always talk about is that just the quality of life improves, and the people that were doing something once manually, they can do something else, and because their day goes faster. I wrote when you said that about, trying to cut costs, and reduce your expenses. I wrote, when we had Mark Coudray on a few weeks back, he said something that really stuck with me. Like the biggest takeaway I had was Mark said, cutting expenses is finite. So why waste your time? Why not spend energy on profit and increasing your profit and wealth and sales? And so I was like, well, because I thought that was really provocative. I was like, because I do that sometimes. I'm like, okay, well, how can I save money on this? Or how can I save money on insurance or ink costs or whatever it is, efficiencies? You can, and that's true, and you should. But how much time should you waste on that? And his point is like, those are finite expenses you're cutting. Whereas you can, if you grew your sales, well, then that's unlimited.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, yeah, positively.
So
positively.
How did you get involved in all this, Eric? Because you said you've been
No-
doing it for what, 30
No
years
comment
now?
from Dylan.
Hey, by the way, gentlemen, I have instructions here regarding today's discussion that I needed to have a drink.
Oh,
Perfect.
I
What do
got
you
a big
have?
giant glass of Johnny
It looks-
Walker.
I was going to
Oh
say,
my
it looks very,
Big
very
giant
dark.
glass, big Johnny Walker.
Hey,
Oh, I
I
see
have
it on there, yeah.
Mine's similar
So-
in color.
All right, here we go.
cheers.
Oh, that's tasty.
Cheers to having a lot of stock on the shelves.
Hey, hold on. Let me finish this thing off.
It's apple
Okay.
juice. It's
Yeah.
not really Johnny Walker.
He needs it for the stories.
Okay, you got me. It's actually watered down coffee.
Oh, gross.
Thought it was going to be funny.
When I was a kid, I all of my cousins, I was like one of the youngest one, and they collected beer cans. It was just the thing to do back then, is we collected beer cans, and you kind of put all different beers on your wall, you know. I don't know how healthy that is, but it was just something we did, and we drank some of them sometimes, but I hated it. Like, I hated beer so bad that I just could not stand it. I almost throw up. But I wanted to be cool like them. And so I had my grandma, whenever we did the tastings, I said, hey, could you just give me a little apple juice so they won't make fun of me so hard? And so I would drink apple juice instead.
Very nice.
Way to be strong, brother.
Mhm. Yeah, sure. You're welcome.
Mhm.
Well, so sorry to you asked a question. How did I get started with doing
Yeah.
this? God, it's such a story, man. But been doing it for 30 years. Started off as selling parts for use on precision hydraulic oval machines. Those are like machines that were around before M&R was around.
Mhm.
And
You were selling parts for that? Like you were working for them?
Like no, I had that was the initial product line actually at Action Engineering. They were cylinders and switches and chains and sprockets, and just one of the parts that we were selling, one of the products that we were selling were pallets. And I had a subcontractor that was manufacturing those for us, and was not keeping up. So we decided, let's figure out how to do this stuff ourselves, just like so many people do. I'm sure there's a gazillion printers that have the same story. They start off subbing out, and they figure out that their guys aren't keeping up with demand, and they decide they want to do it themselves, and they go buy machinery and figure it out. And that's really how this whole thing got started.
It just seems like a weird introduction. Like you're just like, hey, I see this screen printing press. I want to start making parts for it and selling them. Or like, how did you get involved with that?
Okay, sorry. My father had one of the best known screen printing factories in Atlanta.
Okay.
Started
there you
in 1976. I started working with him, and within a few years, he was one of the biggest shops in Atlanta. This is kind of when screen printing was really in its infancy. And back in those late 70s, early 80s, there were 3 or 4 factories in Atlanta that had automatics. And my father's shop was considered a big one. And he had 4 automatic screen printing shops. And I was always working in the shop. I have always been very mechanical, and I was repairing his machines when I was a kid, and started doing work with all the other factories here in Atlanta, helping them keep their machines up and running also. So, you know, I always loved building cars and rebuilding engines and transmissions. And that was the neighborhood I grew up in. That was kind of the cool thing back then. Everybody was into it. So, you know, grew up in the industry. I really have. Yeah.
And those were the autos that you had and that you were working on originally. They were precisions.
Precisions, yeah. Precision hydraulic oval.
We
Believe
had
it
a
or not,
precision
there's-
oval.
Oh,
I was going
you
to say,
did, really?
isn't that what you had at 1st?
Mhm. Yeah.
What year was that?
This was probably 10 or 11, or no, probably between 8 or 9 years ago. Maybe I had one.
Oh,
It was
wow.
old. It was old then. Like it was not something I liked.
Yeah. Yeah, they're loud. They're inaccurate.
death trap.
they're Death trap. Yeah, I know.
Mhm.
Yeah, there were actually some actual deaths that were associated with that machine. Guess that we don't need to relive that. Winterland comes to mind.
Yeah, Brian, who works for me, almost got crushed in it.
Is that right?
Mhm.
Yeah,
Why was it
wasn't-
so
wasn't the first
dangerous?
time.
What made it
There
dangerous?
was no safety features on it.
It was just a lot of times people disengaged it. They did have safety features, but they faulted, and quite often operators disengaged it because it hindered production. So yeah, gotta thank you for all of the newer machines that are so nice and quiet and accurate and easy. And the quality of the machinery we had today compared to what I was looking at back in the 70s, 80s, 90s is just boggles the mind, man, how far our industry really has come and continues to push it. Really the leaders of our industry are absolute R&D fanatics. They don't stop. They never slow down. And I count myself as one of those. We are just constantly working on different projects and improving current products and
see that
just continuously pushing the envelope forward.
Yeah. I brought you up. Was it the last time I was at M&R or something? I was like, oh, did you see Erik had these new quick load pallets?
Oh, awesome.
Notch?
Thank you. Oh, yeah. Awesome. Thank you, man. Crazy. I came out with that years ago, and we are just now starting to see a really serious increase in selling those. One of the big challenges here for us is that I just feel
like if you're going to buy a pallet, why wouldn't you buy if you're going to buy a new pallet, why wouldn't you buy that pallet?
So, I mean, you get it, right? You see how easy it is to load it now and why it's so much more effective to do it. Yeah.
I think that this is why a third party manufacturing accessories is so great because, not to knock M&R or anything, but they make pallets for the presses and they work really well. But when you're in the field, like in real world applications, you realize after so many times off, taking pallets off, putting pallets on, you realize, wait a second, so there's got to be an easier way because the way this slides in is kind of a pain in the ass. Mm-hmm. And so, a person at a shop or that's in a real factory working with their hands on these presses realizes, well, what if I cut a notch out? Would it make it easier? And so then you come up with
it's like you said, like they're focused on making like next year's like better press and all this other stuff. They're not thinking about squeegees and flood bars and pallets and everything else.
Exactly.
And then you get word from a couple printers like, hey, it'd be really cool if we had this flood bar that was like specifically for water based. And then you made like the aqua one or the water based flood bar, or like you said, like there's a ton of different stuff, like different squeegees and holders and all this other stuff that they're not thinking about because they're trying to make another press. And that's where like Action, I feel like, excels, is you guys are always making like the next best accessory for these presses.
Thank you guys very much. That's a really nice thing to say. And you're spot on, amigo. That's it. That's, I still love this. I'm here every day at 4 a.m. All we do is focus on the products that we manufacture. We will never manufacture a press. I've been asked to. Never going to happen. My number one accounts are all of the different press manufacturers around the world. I have no intent of ever competing with these guys. Just another note, by the way, these companies that you're talking about, they get in orders all day long, 30, 40, 50, $100,000. They get big orders. Then they get an order for pallets, squeegees, and flood bars. It's just a few thousand. Which one do you think they really want to focus on?
Oh, yeah.
They're not incentivized to push their development in certain areas, especially when we're here. Their customers might request it, but do they actually want to put the time into doing it? Not really. Every one of them tell me the same thing, that pallets are a big pain to them. They'd rather not have to make them.
Well, and also, especially now, do they even have the time? I mean, right now, if you want to order a press, you're looking at 7-8 months. And so they're just trying to make pallets for a new press, not pallets for already presses out there or whatever. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
And so just to keep up producing their equipment right now is a challenge, let alone developing all these special accessories for them.
So you started making parts for this precision oval. What happened next? You just slowly got into making pallets, and then that kind of took off, and then from there it was here and there accessories, or what?
Oh golly, what a crazy story, man. Where did it go from there? I guess shortly thereafter I started working on used machinery sales. It was around the time that NAFTA came and absolutely laid waste to our industry. And there was just so much used machinery. All the big mills, all the big factories left the United States, went to Mexico. They were selling machinery. There was an absolute just glut of used equipment on the market. I had the very good fortune of having the confidence of Fruit of the Loom, who basically gave me their machinery on consignment to sell. And that was a just phenomenal catalyst in my company's growth. The money that I made working with Fruit of the Loom on liquidating their machinery here, I put into buying new machinery for fabrication. And that was around this exact same time that I started manufacturing pallets. We were selling machinery. My supplier for pallets wasn't able to keep up. I had to figure out how to make pallets. And the money I made from the used equipment sales, I bought new machines with and learned how to use them. And that was really the used equipment and the deal I had with Fruit so very long ago was such a big part of us being able to be where we are today.
Now, with you starting your own manufacturing, and you said, what did you literally just like buy a CNC or something and then like have to learn it yourself and figure it out?
Absolutely did. Yeah, absolutely did. First thing we did, went to Sears and bought a drill press, a Craftsman drill press. That was the first thing we ever had. Next thing I ever had was a Delta table saw. Very, very simple stuff. The first few years, all we had was very simple tools, doing very simple work. Then we brought a Bridgeport knee mill, very simple manual mill that we used. And it baffles me the kind of work that we did with this manual machine back in the day, man. The parts that we were making, the complexity of these parts. We didn't even have 3D modeling software yet. And we were doing the kind of work we were doing on manual mills. We got our first CNC in 1995. I spent all weekend long studying the operations manual on it. And by Monday morning, I made our first jig using this machine. And, I broke several tools that weekend, by the way.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. But just basically by trial and error and a lot of money, we learned how to use this machine, breaking tools nonstop, testing speeds, testing feeds, testing the limit of the machine. Want to go fast, need to make sure we're going as fast as we can. Well, that broke, slow it down. Well, that broke, slow it down. Mm-hmm. So yeah, it's just that way. It was a phenomenally expensive education to learn how to use this equipment. But hey, look at where we are now.
Yeah, I was going to say, and then just year after year, you just like upgrade equipment and get more people and train them and everything.
Yeah. Yeah. I look back, man, at, what was accomplished year after year. It's an amazing story. It really is.
It's the same story for a lot of screen printing shops. I started with a DIY manual press that I put together from like Home Depot, and a DIY light table that I tore apart like a shop light and their ballasts and put different bulbs in. And, you look, and I was talking to Joanne about this, my first table I built, that I didn't have a way to auto shut off. In other words, like I had a stopwatch, like a timer. So I'd put my screen on, turn the light on, and I'd walk away, and I'd have to remember to come back. At a certain amount of time. Otherwise, it would just stay on for forever. It would never turn off, and you'd ruin the screen. And so
I had a kitchen timer on top, and I would run over and hit the off switch.
But if you happen to like walk out, if I happened to walk out of the garage or something and I couldn't hear it or it was done, then I ruined the screen. And so you all start out like that, and you look back and say, man, how did I ever, I can't believe I ever made a screen like that.
But it makes you appreciate what you have now.
Definitely.
Like,
and I think that
we have to do this way.
And building that stuff, building my own light table gave me a way better understanding of what kind of light table I wanted to buy, like that eventually, you know what I mean? Like what I want out of a light table or exposure unit, I should say. Like, what do I want out of an exposure unit that's manufactured by a company? I actually knew because I tried to do it myself,
Oh, so, perfect. Great story, man.
Erik, what is like your guys' number one selling product?
Oh, we have hundreds of products that we sell now.
Well, what's like the big thing ever?
The-
like you
the-
guys sell? Is it
Okay,
pallets
the
that you sell
one
most
thing
of?
that we sell the most as far as like the actual number of individual pieces.
Can we
Yeah.
guess? Can we guess?
Go ahead.
I want to.
Absolutely.
So,
Absolutely. Take a guess.
but wait a second. I just heard your first part lead into that, and you said
Yeah.
by individual pieces, and so it's got to be a cheaper product. I'm guessing you're going to say pre-cut squeegees, maybe.
Pre-cut rubber.
But I don't know what your ROI is on that, but like I was going to guess like the number one product, most profitable product would be the roller squeegee.
It's hard to say. Hard to say. Some things margins are good. Some things margins are not so good. At the end of the day, you know, the drops down all to one major percentage. Roller squeegees are, hey, wow, it's funny you brought that up. Check this out. I happen to have here the first ever roller squeegee that was ever made. I got this back about 4 years ago. And this was the first one, first generation.
Wow. It looks pretty similar.
It is very similar. It is very similar. And the making of the roller squeegee was so much fun. God, that was great. That was great. I remember when it came out, I went home and told my wife this thing's going to pay off our mortgage one day. And we sell a ton of them. We sell a ton of them, I think.
But then you had to make the screen to go with it.
We did. We did. I made the roller squeegee, and you know, it dawned on me a few days after I started shipping this thing that what we really, you know, I remembered when I was a kid how I would use the heat press and put a piece of Teflon over the image before I, you know, drop the iron down. And I said, man, you know what you got to have? You need a piece of Teflon coming in contact with this thing while it's being rolled, and it'll be just glass smooth that way. And so it was that was the catalyst for how the screen was.
I love the extra mile you guys do on that too. Not only do you make a screen, which you could just put Teflon on a screen, but you paint the frame green.
You're like powder
Not
coat
anymore.
it.
Not anymore. We don't
What are they-
powder coat the screens anymore.
Oh,
How do
really?
they ship now?
There's been some the last year or so, we've had some interruptions in our supply chain for these frames.
Oh, I don't blame you. That's why I
they're
said
not
it was
painted anymore.
definitely an extra mile making them green. I think the first
It
one I
was.
had was green. Yeah.
All of ours are green. So are you
Are they?
saying that when you first started selling the roller squeegee, it was just that? So you would just chop down on the shirt and roll the shirt right
No.
over the ink without
No.
Teflon?
No, it was still with a screen.
Okay.
It was still with a screen. It
Just a
was
coated screen.
a coated screen.
Yeah.
Got you.
But it was, you know, the intent was to use a high mesh count and try to get things as smooth as possible that way.
So what are some things that you guys carry that you feel like don't get seen enough, or is a product that people should take advantage of that don't really know it exists?
What a beautiful lead in. Thank you, man. Appreciate that.
That's what I'm here for.
You know, I was going to mention earlier that one of the unbelievable strengths that this company has is our innovation, our R&D, coming up with new ideas, coming up with new products. And the biggest downside we have, the biggest problem we have is our marketing. And that is just simply our R&D outpaces our marketing. And usually it takes several years after we come out with something that we start to see any kind of traction with it. This next year, I'm actually going to be reallocating some resources and putting a lot more effort / dinero into our marketing resources. I have made the decision not to do trade shows for the next couple of years. And the money that was going to be going into trade shows is going to be used in other ways in our marketing efforts. So that I hope is going to change. But we've been busy. We've got a lot of new products, man. These racks that we're coming out with for squeegees and for pallets, and
The cart.
the cart is on hold.
I was going to say the ultra mega Erik action cart that has
The dream
has
cart.
cup holders and USBs
Oh yeah,
and
yeah.
a movie
yeah.
theater, and it
Yes,
has a popcorn
yes.
machine. And
Guys, I'm having trouble with the math on this thing. The cost of metal is through the roof. The cost to produce this thing is astronomical. I cannot conscionably put the price tag that I'd need to get before we are actually motivated to go into production with this thing.
Yeah.
I'm kind of thinking this thing is dead on arrival. I hate to say, but by the time we finally finished all the R&D, got it painted, got it assembled, went back and did a materials and time cost evaluation on this thing and put a price tag to it.
It was $100,000.
Yeah, it's like, I looked at this, I'm like, come on, nobody's going to pay this. Come on, you can't sell this thing for what you really want to be motivated to. I mean, I have had this happen in the past, and that's why I'm really hesitant to put this on up for sale. And that is, we put all this time developing a product. We go to market with it, we sell it, we get an order for it, and all of a sudden you're like, got to make it. You're like, oh my God, we got to make this thing now. We don't want to. It's a dog. Right. Look at how much time this is. We actually got a lot of orders here. We can't work this thing into production right now.
Right.
It's too bulky. So anyway, but what else did we come up with, man? We got, hey, let me please say to your audience that if anybody wants to take a look at what a really beautiful factory looks like, please do check out my Facebook page. May 12th, I got some really great pictures of our shop. Everything was beautiful and cleaned and organized. I wanted to make sure that I remembered the shop the way it was on that day.
I saw your good shop tour video then. You were talking about how clean it was and you walked through.
Yeah, there's a number of other videos of the factory, but this particular set of pictures is the nicest the shop has ever looked. So
it's awesome.
Yeah.
If anybody is in the Atlanta area, do you have like an open tour situation?
Oh,
or
positively.
Do you have a retail store? And
absolutely, drop by anytime. Don't need an invitation.
Go back to my old stomping grounds.
Where's your old stomping grounds, man?
I lived in Marietta for like 2 years.
Oh, far out. So did I. Where do you live?
I lived in Marietta Square.
Oh, right on.
Brumby.
Okay. Very cool. I know the area.
Yeah, I worked at a print shop down there like 13 years ago for like 2 years. And I was like, I got to move back home. So
got you, bud.
I'll come back down, go to the Marietta Diner and
nice.
The Vortex and get some tater tots and I'll come see you.
Yeah, please. Love to have you, buddy. Anytime.
I have a question.
Yes, sir.
Do most of your ideas, or like what percentage of your ideas come from other shops saying, hey, it would be really cool if you made this thing? What percentage come from just you and working on, in the screen printing world and coming up with just solving problems and making things more efficient? And then what percentage comes to you in like a dream in the middle of the night?
Let me answer the last part of that. That waking up with the aha happens to me constantly. And I am so often in the shop at 3:00 in the morning because I want to make sure I get it out of my head. And as I said, we are just nonstop working on new things and coming up with new mechanical innovations for our products. And I have, an enormous amount of my discretionary brain power goes into trying to figure these things out. They're puzzles, nonstop little puzzles I'm trying to figure out. And so that happens a lot, man. In terms of what is the percentage, a vast majority of all of these ideas come out of just my experience in the industry from being 11 years old until I was, now. And while I have not been into too many factories in the last 10 years, in our early years, I'd toured the country intensely. I had 100,000 miles a year in my car. I had 100,000 miles a year, at least, in an airplane. And I was in every major factory in the country repeatedly for many, many years, talking to these guys. What do you like? What do you need? And got a lot of direction from some of the very, very best printers in the world who have become my friends. And so, yes, the answer is an enormous amount of the motivation has come from the industry. And an enormous amount of that, the ability to actually move forward on that is because of my experience in the industry. And I feel like we're accelerating. Truthfully, I've got more people in design now. I've got more people in marketing now. I have these two young men that have started recently, and they're basically engineers in training and unbelievably motivated and smart. They're already really impressing me. And so,
well, the cool part is too, is that there's, I mean, for the screen printing press, there's realistically only so many things that they've kind of stayed the same for a long time, like the palette or the squeegee or the flood bar. Yeah, you're making innovations to make them better and more efficient. But nowadays you're getting all the Mavericks and the Cornets and like all these things where like they all want these specialty palettes for digital.
mm-hmm.
And you guys have been working on a lot of that too, right? Like all these new specialty palettes for that stuff. How's that going?
It's going really well. Really well.
What are the challenges with that though? Like just like holding it down without adhesive, or different hold downs for different things?
The the DTG technology is, as you know, very different. The palette functionality is mostly the same, but the challenge really is, how to keep the shirt on the palette. We've had just so many different things we've tried over the years. We have palettes now for use on Brother, palettes for use on Epson. Coordinate has been a big focus of ours for many, many years. When the very first Coordinate machine was put into service here in America, it was at a company called Colorado Timberline. I got a phone call from the owner. What was his name again? What was his name? I think it's Michael Green. No, not Michael Green. His last name is Dan Green. Called me, asked me to come out and take a look at this machine. I was there a couple days later with my calipers and taking pictures and measurements, and we started developing pallets for use on Coordinate at the very start of Coordinate's introduction to the United States, which is their introduction to the world. So we've been developing Coordinate solutions as long as they have. And
how does that work with you guys, like making things for different presses and manufacturers? Do you have to go through any kind of like weird licensing or anything, or you can just make anything and everything and they don't have a say really?
The management and engineering team at Coordinate recognized early on how important we could be to them and gave us an enormous amount of support and motivation to develop the products that we did. They held our hand, and we sent samples back and forth until they finally said, "You guys are great." And since then, we've had an ongoing working relationship with the company, and continue that to this day. And
that's awesome.
They're a great company. Make undoubtedly the very best digital printing machine on the market, I think, hands down.
You just get to do this stuff.
We make a lot of different printing solutions for use on the Coordinate machine. Like I said early on, the manufacturers of machinery, they're getting in $200,000 orders, $400,000 orders. Now they got in an order for some pallets.
Well, they got a separate company like Action to do all this like awesome R&D for them. You know what I mean? That's a perfect partnership. Like if I had someone to figure out all this shit that would make me more efficient and make people want to buy my equipment because it works perfectly with it, why wouldn't you want that?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So that's
Right.
kind of the thing, is it's a perfect situation.
It is. You look at the scenario where you've got Brother, you've got Epson, you've got Coordinate. We all know that when you go buy that desktop printer for $100, that you're going to put a lot more money into it. And how do you put it in there? You put it into the ink sales. And what these guys want is to sell ink. They send you a machine. That's great. In the end, they want to sell as much ink as they can to you. And by us developing all of these different printing solutions, it makes their life easier. It makes their ink sales go up. And that's the name of the game in the end for the digital guys. Not necessarily the same thing with the screen printing guys. They're really not selling ink. But digital printing OEMs, They are in the business of selling ink, and that's what they want to do. And we make that job a lot easier.
A couple things. One, before we get to questions for us, or I don't know if we have time for a shop hack or not, but
I've got my hacks ready. I got my hacks
perfect.
ready, by the way.
One more question before we get to that then is, you make hundreds of successful products that and accessories that printers love. What is your biggest flop?
The Warrior Extreme Palette System, baby. You wouldn't believe this thing.
Well,
This palette-
how would it flop with a name like that?
Oh, it was awesome. This was the baddest ass palette the world has ever seen. I brought this thing to Long Beach a number of years ago, and people were running to see it. They were calling their friends and family to come see it. You've got to come see this thing, man. The palette would side shift. It would flip over. You could move the palette from one machine to another. It was great. Before I went to the show, I knew this thing was such a giant success. I put $20,000 worth of these things on the rack to go to the show and sell them. Not one single order. Nothing.
Why?
I threw every single bit of it away. Why? Because it was, here's something else I learned. If it takes you 20 minutes at a trade show to explain how it works, this is not a product you want to sell. Okay. I like selling products that you just go, hey, this is it. And people go, I get it. So this thing was like, you had to educate people on what it was for, how it would work, why they would make money out of it. And, I found myself spending 20 minutes for each guy at a show, trying to make them understand what this thing does, why it could be beneficial. And, I learned another very expensive lesson with this. And to this day, I do not do that.
To this day, you have a rack of $20,000 worth of pallets.
So I do not inventory anything until we have a substantial track record of it. And I know that going forward, we'll be able to move this stuff. So
it's one of those things you live and you learn.
Yeah, a lot of expensive lessons, bud.
Mm-hmm. All right. What's your hacks, Eric?
Got a hack. He said, let me see what he said. Printing hack, business hack, life hack. All right. Got a few for you. Just say no to dye migration. Make sure your squeegees are not wider than your pallets. Okay. Always good information, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Just say no to breaking your screens. Make sure your winged flood bars are at a 0 angle. Don't break your screen.
Okay, time out. So back up to the first one.
Yeah.
Why? So you said squeegee rubbers are wider than your pallets, and I think I know why. But what is your reason for that?
It leaves pressure marks.
That's right. If you are on an automatic and you are running a 16-inch squeegee on a 14-inch pallet, and you are printing anything other than a white T-shirt, it generates what we just were told pressure marks. It's also technically called dye migration. And it'll leave lines down the left side of the shirt and right side of the shirt that is can be.
The biggest one is people that do a 16-inch squeegee on a sleeve pallet.
Everybody does that. Everybody does that. We sell, it's funny you brought that up because out of all of the pallets we sell, the sleeve pallets are by far the number one as far as specialty application pallets go. And your basic standard, average, everyday, run-of-the-mill Joe Schmo 4x22. We ship hundreds a month of this thing. Mm-hmm. And we sell so very few 4-inch squeegees. Nobody buys a 4-inch squeegee for it. So
I have a whole bunch of 4-inch action sleeve squeegees.
Awesome. Thank you.
Okay. So hack number one, squeegees. Don't make them bigger than your pallets because you'll have pressure marks, dye migration, and also that's where you're going to have emulsion breakdown at those edges too.
That too. Of course,
hack number two,
wing flood bars. Wing flood bars keep the angles at 0, or else the wings are going to break your screen.
Mhm.
So some people, we don't send these winged flood bars out with an instruction sheet. Maybe we should. Every once in a while, somebody calls me. We broke a screen. What happened? I said, did you set the thing at 0? No. Okay. Well, there you go. That's the problem.
I have a
So-
quick interesting story. I'll make
Yeah.
it fast. So
Yeah.
we learned, because we use wing flood bars here, and the Cobras, and I think the Gauntlets too, they are flat indexer, and so the screens go down, right? Well, overnight, let's say you have a job regged and set up and you're not going to tear it out and you're going to leave them there overnight. Overnight, squeegees
They drop.
and if you have ink in your screens, all good, because that ink serves as a little bit of a cushion between the sharp metal of a flood bar and also maybe even some sharp rubber.
We
But
take
if
all
you-
the squeegees and flood bars out, even if a job's still set up overnight.
Overnight?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we started just loosening them, like we popped the locks on them so that they had some give if they fall.
Mhm.
But what we noticed is what I came in one morning and a screen was popped because it was dry. We had just put screens up in the press and we're like, okay, well, this is what we're starting with in the morning. And we had clean squeegee, clean flood bar, clean screen, and they fell and it popped a screen.
Yep.
And it was because there was no ink cushion. That's what my theory was, is there's no ink cushion. But I really like your idea of taking them out, even though
We
it's a
just take
hassle.
them out and then set them on the front of the frame.
Mm.
And then when they get in the morning, they pop them back in.
All right. I like it. All right. So
Hey, I'm thinking new squeegee accessory somehow in this, man. Let's talk later on that.
oh, I like it. Yeah. We can solve this problem, huh?
There's got to be a solution to that, amigo.
It'll be the shirt show squeegee.
Okay.
All right.
We'll make it
It'll have to be
sure,
orange.
squeegee.
Mhm. All right. So what do you have any more hacks, Eric?
For printing.
Anything? Life?
Oh, life. Sure. Be sure to read the book Proper Hookah and Bong Etiquette. It's always important.
Right. I agree.
By, of course, authored by Mary J. Okay. That's always important. Good hookah etiquette, man. There's a lot of hookah places out on the West Coast, I believe. So when in Rome,
Yeah.
make sure to know the etiquette.
Andy
should have
looks
been on
like
our-
right now, yeah, that he has proper etiquette.
Oh, I thought
I'm
you were gonna go
assuming that's
the
what the
other way
glasses are
with
for. So
Mhm. So baked out of his mind right now.
I'm going to start wearing glasses on these things, on these shows.
We
Great
went
idea.
we went and hung out with the Golden Boys at their show, and for some reason we just kept our sunglasses on because it was super bright out that day, and now it's the thing to do.
Yeah,
so-
absolutely.
Yeah,
I like it. I
All
like
right.
it.
Some real quick, super quick takes. Vacation or staycation?
I'm going on vacation next month, first time in many years, and going to be leaving my puppies behind for the first time in many years. It's never fun.
Do you
But-
take them somewhere, or do you have someone visiting?
I've got somebody that's going to stay at the house for 4 days while we're out.
Nice. Where are you going on vacation?
It's called Mexico Beach. It's in Florida. And my brother-in-law has a place down there. So it's a family vacation.
Nice.
I'm renting a house across from the beach. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Hell
Isn't
yeah.
that on the Gulf side?
It is. From Atlanta, you go to Panama City Beach and take a left for about another half hour.
We go pretty close to there, although we go to Panama City Beach and take a right for about a half hour. So
To where? Destin?
before that, so in between,
Seaside?
sort of, that's where this hat. What does that say?
Oh, Seacrest, right on. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but we go to Rosemary and all along there, 30A. You can't go wrong. It's awesome.
Wonderful.
All right, next question, Dilly.
Messy desk or clean desk?
Yeah, we can see it right now, can't we? That's the cleanest desk I think I've ever seen.
That's not even real office.
I cleaned it just for you guys.
You look like you have the like triple desk going on. You got whatever you're facing, and you got one to the left and to the right.
Quadruple.
Yeah, he's got so much shit that he needs 3 desks. 4 desks. There's one behind him.
Yeah.
All right,
Okay.
next we have test the waters or dive in the deep end.
Dive in the deep end.
I was
No,
going to say,
what am I
I feel like you were diving the deep end and now you're testing
Yeah.
the waters.
That's right. You're absolutely right. Thank you.
Okay.
I don't have nearly the guts I used to have. I was an absolute.
Well, dude, it's expensive. The industry you're in is expensive to fuck up with.
Oh, I thought you were talking about something else. I thought you were being literal about going to the. Okay,
Right.
it's all right.
He likes to dip his toes in.
Oh yeah, totally, of course.
Crunchy peanut butter or smooth peanut butter?
Seriously, I'll take crunchy.
Hell yeah. Good answer.
Crunchy for 200, baby.
Okay, perfect. All right, Andy, finish this off so he can go to his meeting.
What's for lunch, Eric?
Oh man, lunch is my favorite meal of the day. I take lunch very serious. I always grab somebody here from the factory and go have lunch. We've got an unbelievable selection here in the area we're at. I prefer anything that ends in ESE. I like it to be Chinese, Japanese, Taiwanese, whatever. Indianese. I love Indianese.
So what is it today, though?
I don't know. What's today is Wednesday. So my Chinese place, the Thai place are closed. So yeah, it's probably Longhorn.
Longhorn Steakhouse.
That's right. They got a great salad.
Longhorn Steakhouse and Ease.
That's right.
Well,
All right,
Eric,
man,
this-
well-
It's around the corner.
it was awesome to finally get you on here. We've been wanting to do this
Guys,
for a
thank
while.
you so much.
And we genuinely love your stuff. I've used it forever.
Thank you, man.
It's really great. I wanted to make sure everyone knew, and I know everyone knows who you guys are, but just to hear the story a little bit is nice.
Andy, Dylan, guys, thank you. And thank you so much for the phenomenal effort that you've put out to help us. And we are very grateful and really enjoy the partnership. Thank you, guys.
Same, man. Have a good day, dude.
Thank you,
Yep.
boys. Thank
Enjoy
you. Thank you,
your
guys.
steak ease.
I will. Take care, guys.
See ya.